And maybe you could talk a little bit about how it was when you were on the air. What do you think the impact of television was in reporting the news? How important was television?
Of major importance. It changed the whole perception of our world, our cities, our towns, our neighbors indeed, as well as the more remote parts of the world which were playing such a part already on our lives and our future. It was an introduction of our people and peoples around the world to the rest of the world. And they began to get an understanding of each other to a degree that at first looked very hopeful. We were just out of the war practically, and people were looking for peace, hoping for peace. And as we met each other at various stories at the time, we began to believe we were going to have an understanding of each other. We now know that it didn't quite work out as we had hoped. But it did increase our understanding of world affairs, and has perhaps, in a sense, saved us from ourselves. Of course, the end of the war, World War II, was the beginning of the atomic age. And as we explained to the populations of the world and all the nations, but particularly with us in the United States, where we owned nearly all the nuclear weapons available, we had an understanding through the pictorial nature of it. Just the pictorial nature of seeing the damage in Nagasaki and Hiroshima was enough to, I think, begin to clarify with the American people the dangers that we had created with the atomic bomb. It may have brought early victory in Japan, but it certainly didn't ease the conscience of man around the world in all aspects. But what it did was, in that major story and in every other political story around the world and problem story around the world, domestically as well as worldwide, it increased our understanding of what was happening in our world. And that depended a great deal on the proficiency of those of us who were doing it. It was a new thing to us too, so we had to learn to communicate, as well as the people had to learn to understand what we were trying to tell them.